All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to dig into a pretty radical idea about the food we eat, especially as we get a bit older. We're going to explore this critical question. What if every single meal wasn't just about taste, but a choice between building your vitality or contributing to your decay? So, right off the bat, here's the big question this material really asks us to think about. When it comes to food, are you a slave to taste? Or are you using what you eat to actually build and accumulate power? Okay, so to get to the bottom of that, we first have to talk about what the source calls the slavery to taste. Let's look at the consequences of going down this path, particularly after a certain age. It all starts with a simple biological fact. According to the source material, after you turn 58, something pretty significant starts to happen inside your body. Your Jathrug knee, you can think of it as your digestive fire. It just naturally starts to slow down. Now, this is where it gets really intense. If your digestive fire is getting weaker, but you keep eating just for taste, the source makes this incredibly stark claim. It says you're not really eating food anymore. You are, and I'm quoting here, collecting the materials for your own funeral pyre. Wow, I mean, that's a pretty harsh metaphor, right? But it really drives home just how high the stakes are when it comes to our food choices later in life. So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where we see a huge shift in perspective. It's all about completely reframing your relationship with food, seeing it not just as consumption, but as a sacred ritual. And wow, this quote right here from way back in 1968 just nails the core philosophy. As the food, so the mind. A pure and minimal diet is the core principle of a long life. It's saying there's this direct, unbreakable connection between what you put in your body, how your mind feels, and ultimately how long you live. And this idea of reframing, it goes even deeper. The point isn't just to fill your stomach. Eating is a yajna, a sacred fire ritual. Think of it like this. The food is the offering, and your digestive fire is that sacred flame. You're literally feeding the divine spark within you. And the whole point of this sacred offering? It's to create something called prana urja, or prana energy. This is that vital life force that just courses through your system, energizing everything. And this energy, which you get from pure, disciplined eating, well, that's presented as the real secret to a long, healthy life. Okay, so the philosophy sounds amazing, right? But how do you actually do it? That's what this next part is all about. It's the practical system for building up that power, and it boils down to a really simple rule. And here it is. The system itself is actually super simple to remember. It's just a 70-30 split. The idea is that your plate should be 70% raw foods, things like salads, sprouts, and only 30% cooked food. That's it. It's a really clear guide for how to build every meal. Now, what's really important to get here is that this isn't some fad diet you try for a few weeks. The source presents the 70-30 balance as a system, a disciplined, proven practice for achieving a long life. It's about consistency, something that becomes a part of your life, not just a temporary fix. When you start thinking this way, it leads to another really powerful idea. Let's talk about how the right food choices can literally turn your kitchen from a place of simple pleasure into your own personal source of medicine. And this really breaks down the why behind it. On one side, you've got spicy, stimulating food. Yeah, it gives you a temporary buzz, but then what happens? You crash. It excites your nervous system and then completely exhausts it, draining your energy. But simple, pure food, it does the exact opposite. It keeps your body cool, your mind calm, and it actually builds and preserves your energy. And this all leads to a really empowering way of thinking. The idea is to start seeing your kitchen as your own personal pharmacy. Every single meal is a chance to give your body the medicine it needs, to heal it, and to make it stronger from the inside out. All right, let's bring this all together. It really comes down to a clear, simple choice that, according to this, you have to make every single day. And the source doesn't pull any punches here. It says, flat out, don't make your stomach a dustbin. It's such a powerful and direct way to make you stop and think before just mindlessly putting anything and everything into your body. So how do you avoid that? Well, it comes down to this super simple two-step rule. First, eat only enough so that your body can function well. And second, don't eat so much that you feel lazy or tired afterward. It's all about efficiency, not about feeling stuffed. So at the end of the day, after all of this, it all comes down to this one simple choice. It's the whole argument in 3 words. You can follow the path of a quick, fleeting taste, or you can choose the path of real, lasting power. Give up taste, choose power. And that leaves us with this final challenge, really. It's a call to action. The big takeaway here isn't about finding excuses for why you can't do it. It's about building a system so that you can. So stop making excuses and start building your system.